The Troop is an American-Canadian live-action, single-camera comedy-adventure television series about a trio of teenagers who fight and capture monsters and other supernatural phenomena that invade the fictional town of Lakewood. Created and executive produced by Max Burnett, Greg Coolidge and Chris Morgan, the series premiered on Nickelodeon on September 18, 2009. The second season premiered on June 25, 2011 and Nickelodeon cancelled the series midway through its second season. The remaining episodes of Season 2 were aired on Nicktoons with the series finale airing on May 8, 2013. Premise: the show revolves around Jake, an average teen who wants to create his own comic book series and is enlisted by his school counselor Mr. Stockley to join the Troop, a secret society that protects the world from monsters and creatures. Additional squad members include his fellow students, Haley, the most popular girl in school, and Felix, the school's main nerd. Teenagers are chosen for the Troop because their minds are more accepting of the strange things in the world, but they are old enough to understand the responsibilities that are entailed. It is shown that once you grow too old, monsters become more frightening. For some it is a small fear, for others it becomes completely terrifying to even look at a monster's picture. The pilot was shot in 2008 and the show itself has been described as Men in Black at a suburban high school. The show premiered to 3.5 million viewers on September 12, 2009, right after iCarly's I Think They Kissed. The show officially premiered a week later. In March 2010, the series was picked up for a second season. On October 15, 2010, it was announced that Melise Zhao and Matt Shively would join the cast of The Troop when the show enters its second season. Both Zhao and Shively previously co-starred on Nickelodeon series prior to The Troop. Zhao co-starred in Unfabulous and Shively co-starred in True Jackson, VP. David Del Rio announced in January 2011 that he would not be renewing his contract for the second season due to other commitments and would become a recurring cast member after episode 28. His character, Felix, moves to the International Troop and will no longer be a member of the Lakewood Troop. The second season was turned in a different direction. Felix was phased out in the first 3 episodes while Matt Shively was introduced in the third episode. The season introduced a new theme song and new environments. It is significantly different and it is obvious to tell the difference between the 2 seasons. In August 2011, Nickelodeon put the series on permanent hiatus. The second season ended with the remaining 7 episodes left unaired. However, Nickelodeon has not ruled out a possibility to air the 7 remaining episodes of the second season. The episodes later aired on Nicktoons. Cast equals main characters equals Jake Collins due to his recent joining of the Troop, Jake is often naive and reckless. Haley and Felix often have to watch his back, because his instinct for danger often gets him into trouble. Haley thinks he is a goofy slacker who doesn't take his job seriously. His worst fear is that he would not be able to help Felix and Haley if they were in trouble. He is shown to be quite a good artist who reads comic books obsessively, draws his own comic strips, and sells them at his school. Jake appears to have a crush on Haley, though it is unknown if he's been able to admit this to himself, or if Haley feels the same. However, the sparks the two occasionally share were enough to draw the Eris Fairy, a mythical creature that breaks up loving couples. It is hinted in a trailer that he and Haley may become a couple, when they are seen kissing. Jake's character is named after one of the creator's son. Jake and Cadence were dating in episode 31 but it ended after he finds out he was dating a monster and sent her to the monster world. He tells Haley he has a crush on her later in season 2. Haley Steele the most popular, and often considered the friendliest, girl at school. She is the classic overachiever she does cheerleading, lacrosse, ballet, is in the student council, and does numerous other extracurricular activities. She wants to go to Yale after high school, and is so into this vision that her favorite color is Yale blue. She is very headstrong and determined, at one point being ordered to take the weekend off of monster hunting to relax. Another sign of her workaholic nature is that, when faced with a monster that showed her worst fear, she saw a room full of late homework assignments. Jake thinks she's extremely bossy and overbearing. She and Jake are good friends, but there have been several hints of something more. In the episode Speed, she was hurt when he told her he would never leave her if he ever got the chance to be her boyfriend, then claims that he was just doing his job. In Season 2 it is shown that she has a slight crush on Jake because she was spying on him and Cadence while they were on a date. Felix Garcia, the nerd of the school. Felix is complex. He is just dying to tell someone about his involvement in the group so he can be the cool guy, but is bound by oath to say nothing. He sees himself as a type of James Bond within the troupe who Jake and Haley look up to, but in reality, they both think he is just the stereotypical nerd. Felix is an off-the-charts genius. An expert on mysterious creatures and paranormal activity, he's fully prepared to take on any monster, though he is scared of ghosts and clowns. Felix doesn't fit in at school, so the troupe are his closest friends. He fell for the heiress fairy and was very disappointed when he found out she had a boyfriend back in her own dimension. She did kiss him on the cheek, however, and hints that a cute girl in chemistry has a crush on him. He eventually leaves the Lakewood troupe to go to the Troupe International instead early in Season 2. Kirby Bancroft Cadworth 3 he joins the team in the second season to replace Felix. Kirby transferred to the Lakewood troupe from Oklahoma, where he was a part of the Tulsa troupe. He is from a very rich family including his father who is extremely rich. He's a science genius, but he's no Felix Garcia. His inventions backfire on him half the time. Even though this hurts the troupe sometimes, he's a loyal, honest kid who would do anything for his friends. Cadence Nash she joins the team near the end of the second season. She's a bad girl who likes to cause trouble and has been in detention many times. She enjoys skateboarding and has a crush on Jake. She is half human, half monster. She is fully aware of the troupe and the troupe is fully aware that she is half monster, though Haley kept it a secret to keep her safe and to keep Jake from knowing. She was sent to the monster world in episode 31 by Jake after she freaked out when she saw her brother out cold. In episode 32 she is set free after she helps Jake through the monster world and saves him more than once. She may still be in a relationship with Jake after this. She eats a lot of standard food to stop her monster cravings. Mr. Stockley Mr. Stockley is the troupe's adult advisor, a job he takes very seriously. He keeps Jake, Haley, and Felix up to date on recent monster activities, and makes sure they have the latest monster fighting technology. However, when faced with a monster he panics. Unlike all of the main characters, Stockley's first name hasn't been revealed. Mr. Stockley is named after one of the creator's favorite teachers from junior high in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Stephen Stockley. In Season 2, it is shown that he's happy when Jake finally tells Haley of his crush on her. He confirms this loudly in the episode Eris Returns. Recurring minor characters Garcia a nerdy boy who is constantly picked on, but is known as one of the troupe's worst nemesis, seeing that he can gain control of the most powerful monsters on the planet and use them for his own evil purposes. He is the main antagonist of the series. He likes being called Augustus, but everyone calls him Gus, which thoroughly enrages him in later episodes as it reminds him of the troupe. He loves Haley because she was the first to accept him and sees Jake as a rival. Despite the fact that the troupe tried to wipe his memory, he constantly evades them to the point he had to be locked away. He returns as the main antagonist for the Series 1 finale when he attempts and succeeds at releasing every monster the Lakewood troupe has ever captured, but he ultimately fails when his monster magnet goes into overdrive and activates a portal to the monster world which he then enters rather than being captured and snarked. It is unknown what happened to him, but sounds that came from the portal moments after he entered suggest he was attacked. Had the series been renewed for a third season, he would have returned as the main antagonist. Phoebe Collins Jake's little sister. She is shown in some episodes that she is destined to be part of the troupe as she met a dragon and was not afraid of it, and also wasn't afraid in the Halloween special. She sometimes acts as if she doesn't care about Jake but really does care for him. In Monster, she indirectly saved him. She called his cell phone, which rang inside the cocoon that Jake was held in, and Haley and Felix found out Jake was the monster. Etienne, a funny and rather odd student in school who finds himself in the middle of the action in several episodes. He was the school news cameraman. He had crashes on Haley and possibly Angela. He joined the Lakewood troupe in episode 31 as Kirby's replacement until he came back from his time machine, but was snarked after Kirby came back. Cuddy, Jake's friend who has appeared in many episodes. Angela Crabtree, a rather unpleasant girl who is both frenemy and rival to Haley. She claims to have no sense of humor and was the school news reporter. Lance Donovan, one of the troupe members that appears in Tentacle Face. He is the most highly awarded member to date and spent years trying to capture a behemoth to gain the ultimate troupe honor, but he soon became too old to fight monsters, and Jake had to destroy the behemoth instead. He then becomes a troop leader so that even though he cannot fight monsters, he can still pass on his wisdom and stay active. Mr. Spetzer, the crabby biology teacher that never ceases to give the troop a hard time, as in the episodes Welcome to the Jungle, There Is No Iron Monster Hunter, and A Sniff Too Far. Bianca Stonehouse, a world-famous troop leader that appears in The Substitute. She was revealed to be a locked-in disguise after the kids discovered the real Bianca stuffed inside a crate with her mouth taped shut. After being freed, Bianca helped them track down the Loots, but didn't help them fight as she is now terrified of monsters due to her age. She is the inventor of the famous troop fighting move the Stonehouse Kick. She is friends with Mr. Stockley. The J-Troop, a troop from Japan. The J-Troop is a Japanese troop that includes Akira, the strict field leader who is a thing for Haley, and the twins, Yuki and Keiko, who were in love with Felix due to him being popular in Japan. Their only appearance is in Lost in Translation, where they were sent both to train the American troop to reach a higher level, and to trick them into thinking that they came to see a demonstration of how good they were. Laurel, Jake's triad girlfriend who appeared in the episodes Forrest Gump, and The Next Stop, Lakewood. She is the only monster so far to turn good. Amy, a member of Haley's cheerleading squad, appeared in the episode Speed. Dr. Brandenburg, the head of Troop International in the first season finale. He turns out to be a locked-in disguise. Critter, one of Jake's former best friends. He and Sanjay were the ones who dared Jake to sleep over in the abandoned hospital. Sanjay, Jake's other former friend, who was shown to be scared of spiders when he runs out of the hospital before Jake and Critter enter. Dr. Cranius, an extremely intelligent sponge who attended Harvard. He is considered a monster and had to be contained. At the end of episode 24, Cranius is shown being heavily locked up in a real monster cell. Eris Ferry, a specified as one of the monsters, she can move around at the speed of light. Eris reveals to Felix that there is a girl in chemistry that has a huge crush on him. But, she disappeared into the dimensional opening before the girl's name was revealed. The Eris returned in Season 2 in the episode Eris Returns. Roxanne, the leader of Haley's cheer squad, constantly puts Haley down. In the episode Pajama Game of Death, Roxanne was host to a Vespinox inside of her. Brian, Haley's boyfriend from the episode Speed. It appears they broke up in the episode. The Snark, an adorable creature with the ability to erase anyone's memory of recent events with its song. Often used by the troupe on anyone who has witnessed their activities. It can produce a baby snark by biting its host. It is revealed that an individual can suffer a mental age regression if snarked too many times. Episodes. Awards. 2012 Writers Guild of America Awards. 2011 nominee, Children's Program Episodic and Specials, Oh, Brother, written by Max Burnett. 2010 Writers Guild of America Awards. 2009 winner, Children's Program Episodic and Specials, Welcome to the Jungle, written by Max Burnett. 2010 Leo Awards winner, Children's Program, directing J.B. Sugar for episode Wrath of the Wraith. Broadcast U.S. syndication history Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, T-Nick. UK syndication history Nickelodeon, Nicktoons. International release References. External links, Web Official and Nick.com, The Troop at the Internet Movie Database, The Troop at TV.com.